Our story begins in a nameless Greek village, one so old no records remain, only fragments of whispered accounts passed from mouth to mouth, like embers that refuse to die. They spoke of a strange day, when the sky stopped breathing, the air froze, the wind did not move, even the river hung still, water suspended, as if time itself had stopped. They say it was the day he was born. Eirenaios. The midwife claimed the air turned cold the moment she touched him. The priest who delivered him looked into his eyes once and never spoke again. Not by choice. He simply stopped. From his first breath, he did not cry. He did not scream. A note escaped his lips instead. Low, steady, and wrong. The goats broke their ropes and fled. Dogs refused to go near the house. One man fell where he stood. As he grew, he never spoke a word, but the sound returned. Sometimes at dawn, sometimes when a death was near, and sometimes for no reason anyone could name. When it came, the air grew heavy, fires burned lower, and the trees seemed to lean away from him. The villagers began to fear him. They threw stones, burned his door. Mothers clutched their children tighter when he passed. Men whispered that he had been sent as a warning or a punishment. He did not cry. He did not beg. He only sang louder. And high above Olympus, Apollo watched. Those who saw it swore the god of prophecy was staring down through the clouds, and that he looked afraid. The god's hand trembled on his bowstring, and his eyes would not leave the boy. Strange things followed him. A well that reflected the night sky at noon. A crow that landed at his feet and died instantly. A child who claimed she saw him walking in her dreams. One day, he appeared with a mirror. No one knew where it came from. It was polished silver, without a single mark. The elders warned people not to look into it, but some did, and swore they saw things that had not yet happened. But Apollo knew where it came from. It was his, forged in divine fear, cast into the mortal world, to be forgotten. A mirror that did not show the present, but truth, the gods buried. And then he sang into it. The silver began to drip like liquid. Inside the glass, shadows moved. Not the gods of Olympus, but something older. Something that leaned closer each time he sang. Those who looked too long swore one of the shadows smiled. That night, no one slept. Even the animals paced until dawn. From that day forth, prayers began to fail. Not because the gods had fallen, but because they were no longer the ones answering. Across Olympus, altars cracked, golden fires dimmed, and the air in the halls of the gods tasted of iron. In Olympus there was panic. Some called for the boy to be watched, others called for him to be destroyed. Only Athena spoke clearly. "He is a seed," she said. "Burn the soil." They say her owl took flight that night. It circled the earth once and vanished into the dark. And he began to dream of feathers falling, grey and silent. One by one, he would reach for them, and they would turn to ash in his hands. The gods were coming for him. But he did not run, for in his dreams, the shadow in the mirror whispered, and its voice was older than the gods themselves. Some say that was the last night the gods were unchallenged. Others believe the boy never truly lived in the first place. But in every telling, one truth remains. The gods still remember his song, and they have never stopped hearing it. If this tale has stirred your bones and shadowed your dreams, subscribe to Myth Hunt Tales. New curses descend every week. And next time, we follow the owl's flight and see what becomes of Eirenaios.